Insidious franchise. One of the most original and creative horror franchises to be released in the past decade. While there have only been 4, they have done more than enough to stand out from the crowd. And even though this franchise might not be done just yet, let's see how we would rank them so far. Hello ladies and gentlemen and movie lovers of all kind, and welcome back to the channel. As always, I am your host, Brett Murphy, and for today I have another spooktacular video lined up for you as I am going to be ranking all 4 of the Insidious movies. Sure, this franchise only has 4 movies, but after the success of its most recent entry, which was its highest grossing at the box office to this point, I am sure this franchise is far from over. That being said though, I'm a huge fan of this franchise. I like how it sort of puts a whimsical twist on typical horror tropes. That way, although some things do feel very familiar, they also have a unique twist to them as well. And just a quick little side note first, if you're interested in more Insidious themed content, I did the Cinema Showdown a little while back. That was the Conjuring universe versus the Insidious franchise. And I also did the entire Conjuring universe ranked not too long ago. So be sure to check those out as well. So with that being said, let's hop right into things. Number 4, Insidious: The Last Key. Coming in at last place in this franchise is its most recent entry. Though I honestly don't think it's bad, it's certainly the weakest. This one focuses solely on Elise. It is her sort of origin story, if you will. It flips back and forth between her in the present day of the movie and her as a small child, discovering her powers in her childhood home as she experiences both the horrors of the spirit world and the real one from an abusive father. It has its merits. Lin Shaye, for instance, is fantastic in all of these movies, and it's no different in this one as she is by far the best part. I like Tucker and Specs for the most part, but I think they're at their weakest in this one, as most of their humor feels forced and childish rather than organic and well placed. I like Kirk Acevedo in this one as well, however I don't care for any of Elise's family as they're all boring and one-dimensional characters. And the demon in this, what is it, key face, key fingers, something stupid. Anyway, it was just another generic looking long-haired demon thing. Nothing memorable at all like some of the others in this franchise. I also liked the nice neat little bow they put on everything by having it lead right into the first film. But I'm always left wondering where all of that cool footage went from the trailer, and what kind of movie that could have been. Number 3, Insidious Chapter 2. Yeah, oddly enough, I'm not really a huge fan of this first sequel. It's still incredibly well made, as James Wan returned to direct this one, and the central family of Rose Byrne, Patrick Wilson, Ty Simpkins, and of course alongside Lin Shaye are all fantastic. But I feel this movie is significantly less scary than its predecessor. Don't get me wrong, it still has its bone-chilling moments, but I felt this one was far more about the mystery of it all rather than the scares. Some story decisions I don't really care for, nor do I agree with entirely. And overall, it just felt very underwhelming, coming in hot on the heels of the first. As it did a lot of the same things, only this time they felt rather stale and far less shocking. I also felt the Bride in Black's redesign and backstory were both very weak, and since that was a central focus for the film, it really brought it down. Hold on there for just a quick second. If you're enjoying the video, don't get stuck in that 84% who are currently watching and not subscribe to my channel. Be sure to hit that subscribe button right now in order to find more content just like this. It would be a huge help to me and my channel, and I would greatly appreciate it. And while you're at it, don't forget to ring that little bell icon, that way you can be notified about all of my latest uploads. And now, back to the video. 2. Insidious Chapter 3. This movie is actually pretty great. Say what you want, but this was Leigh Whannell's first shot at directing, and I thought it was super solid. Of course, you will know him from writing all of these movies and starring in them as Specs, and since then he has gone on to direct Upgrade and the recent Invisible Man remake. He knew what he was doing when he hopped into the director's chair here, and it shows. Stephanie Scott and Dermot Mulroney star as the father-daughter duo experiencing a violent haunting by the entity known only as the Wheezing Demon. Of course, the glue that holds this franchise together, being Lin Shaye as Elise, reluctantly agrees to help the family out, only to unleash even more sinister things. I like the Wheezing Demon a lot. Though not the most creative design for a monster, I think he offers up a healthy helping of genuine scares. and is creepy enough to provide some incredibly eerie moments, sure to take your breath away. Not to mention, Scott spends the majority of the movie in a wheelchair, rendering her completely useless and unable to run from the terror, which only adds to the fear the audience feels. And coming in at number 1 is Insidious. Of course, it had to be the original. Which other one could it be? James Wan's first Insidious flick is still by far its scariest, most anxiety-inducing and imaginative movie in the franchise so far. Once again, the central family are all very real-world, down-to-earth people, very likable, and you feel for them and their situation. Patrick Wilson, Rose Byrne, and Lynn Shay are all superb. And the demons here are all not only horrifying, but memorable. Wan took the tired old haunted house trope and turned it upside down, delivering something that felt familiar but also wholly unique and original. This one delivers on all fronts. It's got the scares, it's got the tension, the endless sense of dread and fear, with great performances, a splash of new ideas in the mix, and it all culminates into one of the best horror films of the past decade. So that is all for today's video, folks. Be sure to let me know down in the comments if you agree or disagree with my ranking. And be sure to keep checking my channel regularly throughout the month of October for more Halloween-themed videos. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button, and if you'd like to see more content, consider subscribing to my channel and ringing that little bell icon. That way you can be notified about all of my latest uploads. And as always, stay safe, thank you so much for watching, and that's a wrap. Hey you, yeah you, if you made it this far, just know I appreciate you, and while you're here, consider hitting that subscribe button.